I had a call with a guy, very successful guy, super wealthy, but giant ego. Some people, they realize internally that they need help, they reach out, but then their ego will take over and they'll say, actually, I'm good. I know what I need to do. Whenever you come to somebody for help, you have to drop the ego. You have to humble yourself. You have to either say, I've got everything figured out. Okay, then don't ask for help. But if you're going to ask somebody for help, then you have to drop the ego. You have to be willing to take criticism. You have to be willing to take feedback, or else you're going to be stuck forever. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Rising Father Podcast. I'm Chris Rodak. I've got something special for you today. I'm going to take you through a summary of a bunch of different applications I've got. I've got over 1,000 applications for the Men of Fire program. And I went through a bunch of them and pulled out powerful statements, some pains fathers are going with, things they're struggling with, things they want to overcome, what's holding them back, excuses they're giving themselves, and made a whole document of it. And I'm going to take you through some of the common ones, the most powerful ones, the ones that maybe you'll relate to and see yourself. How you can change is if you see yourself in someone else's story and you can relate to the pain they're feeling, or you can hear a hypocrisy in what someone else is thinking and you can identify that within yourself and drop the ego enough to where you can actually fix it. If you suffer from a large ego, as many of us guys do, then you literally cannot see yourself and you cannot see the truth about yourself. I had a call with a guy recently, very successful guy, super wealthy, but giant ego. Okay. And one of my jobs is to tell people the truth. It's to say, this is how you are stuck, and if you come to me to help you, then that means there's something that very logically you need help with. But some people, they realize internally that they need help, they reach out, they'll even come on a call, but then their ego will take over and they'll say, actually, I'm good, I know what I need to do. So this particular guy had a call with me, started it off, he's like, yeah, this doesn't need to be a long call. I know exactly what I have to do. So I was like, okay. So when someone starts a call out like that, you're like, okay. So immediately, and like he told me off the bat, I'm super successful, blah, blah, blah. Just told me for 5 minutes about how successful he was. And then my first question was, okay, sometimes we have a hard time seeing the truth because, we have an ego and sometimes we don't see ourselves in the right way. He's like, oh, I definitely don't have an ego. That's not my problem. My problem is I don't have a plan that I believe in. That's what he said. He said, my problem with why I'm out of shape, complacent, have been stuck for 3 years and can't get my shit together is because I don't have a plan that I believe in. That's what he told me. So I said, okay, well, if that's all it is, I'll just send you a PDF. Is that all you need? So I'll just give it to you for free. There you go. We can just skip the call. All you need is a plan. I was like, dude, you could have ChatGPT'd that years ago. You could have just Googled plan. If all you need is to know what to do, then just Google it. If it's something more than that, then we can keep talking. It's like, well, it's like, we can keep talking, but he wanted help, but he could not get himself past his ego. He could not tell me that there was anything deeper than he would not allow himself to be that open and vulnerable. Like, no matter what. And the guys who've made the biggest transformations in my program are the ones who are the most open and the ones who have the most honesty about their situations. Like, if you come to me and you're like, I need your help because I've been stuck for years, but then you also say, I know exactly what it is to fix myself. I'm just choosing not to do it. Do you see the logic flaw in there? Do you see how that's an issue? But hearing it from the outside, you know the issue. If you're the guy saying it who has the massive ego, you're like in a room full of mirrors. You cannot see the truth. You just keep on seeing reflections of yourself. So without being as blunt as I possibly could, if you know me, you know I can be blunt. I had to do my best to slowly reveal some truth to this guy. It didn't work out. I can't help people who... I can't help everyone. I try my best. Just like a teacher, you open the door, but the other person must walk through. And if your biggest pain and problem in your life right now, if you're convinced that you just need the PDF of workout program to believe in, then okay, you don't need me. And our workout program isn't a PDF. I just use that because that's all it is. Like, we have a separate training app with nutrition plan, tells you every single videos, coaching, all that kind of stuff with health and nutrition. But when somebody says all I need to know is, the only thing holding me back in life is I don't know the right information, then to me it's like, okay, I'm just going to send you a PDF of info and you're good to go. It's like, that's all you need. Okay. You could have saved yourself 3 years. This guy was like, yeah, I've been following you and watching you for years. And it's like, okay. I was like, okay. You heard the episode I talked about ego, right? You heard the episode I talked about the lies we tell ourselves, right? He's like, oh, yeah. I don't know you did, man. I don't know that you did. And whenever you're on the other side, when you're the guy speaking it and you believe your story so much, and this gets a lot of guys who are very successful in business. These guys can do unbelievable things. Like this morning I rolled with one of the most successful people I knew in jiu-jitsu. I went over to his mansion, and in his basement he's got this whole setup. He's got like commercial cold plunges and saunas and a giant professional mat space and everything. And me and him are rolling one-on-one. We did 8 straight rounds with like 20-second breaks. He's a black belt and I'm just dead. But I do it to challenge myself. I do it because no one else gives me those kind of rolls. He's also extremely humble, extremely generous. He's like, we roll. He's like, you want to come in the sauna? I said, sure. We went in the sauna, and he pulls out books on leadership and was reading Bible verses, and like we're going through that kind of stuff together. And he's asking me my opinion on things, and then we had a cold plunge. We did the cold plunge afterwards. Like, it's an amazing morning, but he's so humble, so willing to dig into himself. Like he wouldn't be afraid to ask me, hey man, what do you think about this part of my life? What do you think? Like, can I have some advice, or what's your perspective? I do the same thing for him, or for me. Like, I'm asking him. So if you're like that, then you're untapped. You've got the work ethic, you've got the discipline, and you lack the ego. If you've got the work ethic, discipline, skills, plus you're humble, nothing can stop you. But there's also a sect of people who are successful financially, and they tie their identity so closely to their monetary success, they can't get past it. Like, to them, they see themselves as crushing life so hard, even though they look in the mirror and see a disappointment. But they have to convince themselves every day, I'm crushing life so hard, I'm crushing life so hard. You talk to someone like me, and my job is to help you in a way that no one has helped you before. That's my job, and that's my skill. I'm proud of it. Is when I talk to guys, I try to pierce their souls. I try to reveal a truth to them that no one else is telling them, and that has been holding them back for decades. So if you're this super financially successful guy, a business guy, you've got all these people sucking up to you, telling you everything you do is great, and you're on the call with me, and I'm like, yeah, we've got some work to do, which is why you're there. But you're like, okay, I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to tell Chris that, I'm 90% there, and I just need a little bit of work to do. I've been listening to his podcast. I follow his stuff. I'm going to tell him, I don't have that much to do. I'll do your program, but I just want a little bit to do. I just want to just tell me how many push-ups to do. If only I knew how many push-ups to do, I'd be shredded. If only I knew not to eat McDonald's and drink, I'd be shredded. That's what I'm going to tell Chris. And they come on the call, and I'm like, no, you've got a deep-seated identity issue, and you're procrastinating. Like, you telling me that you've been waiting 3 years for the perfect plan to believe in is classic procrastination and avoidance behavior. This isn't about not knowing the right thing. This is about you sabotaging yourself and avoiding the discomfort of discipline. And for the last 2 years, the only negative thing he's heard is, from a guy at work who works under him, who's like, hey, I don't know, the check was a little late. Like he started zero critiques no one is critiquing him in his life. So whenever you come to somebody for help, you have to drop the ego. You have to humble yourself. You have to either say, I've got everything figured out ever. Okay, then don't ask for help. Then accept all the realities of your life, accept all the consequences of your life, and don't do anything about it. Just leave it as it is. But if you're going to ask somebody for help, then you have to drop the ego. You have to be willing to take criticism. You have to be willing to take feedback, or else you're going to be stuck forever. And you can be the guy who, you can be the richest guy in the graveyard who's there alone. His family doesn't give a shit about. I told this story before on a previous podcast. I'll tell it again. Had tons of new listeners to the podcast. It's exploding these past couple weeks. Love it. So I went on vacation with a bunch of friends of mine a couple years ago down in Maryland in this beautiful vacation-y area. There's water, a bunch of water. There's mansions on the water. So we get this Airbnb, and we're staying in the hunting lodge of the guy who owns the mansion. That's where we stayed. And there was 12 of us, so that was huge. But we stayed there. Next to this property was another mansion on the water. And there was a ton of construction workers over there. So me and my son, we would ride bikes around the area. We went over there. I was talking to construction workers. And they were tearing the place down. So I was like, what's going on here? Why are you tearing this place down? It looks brand new. It looks amazing. He's like, yeah. He's like, it is. We just built it, not that long ago. And he said, the guy is super rich, built this mansion, and he built it with all these rooms and playrooms and things for kids to do. He said, but none of his kids wanted to visit him. He's got kids and grandkids, and he wanted them to all come in and have vacations there together for the rest of his life. That's what he imagined, like a happy family. He's got tons of resources, generous, wants to spread it. Or he wants to be generous now. He's like, yeah, but his kids don't want to visit him. It's like they just never came around. So now he's tearing it down and building a small house on the water for just him and his wife. I don't know this guy's story. I do know that if kids don't want to spend time with you, there's an issue there. So, you can have, that can be your goal. It's, I want to be the richest guy in the cemetery who's lonely. Okay, great. Die, and like Scrooge, we could pour a bunch of gold on you. If that's, okay, great, you made it. And in your mind, if you made it, all right, you won. But if you're not happy, admit it. If you're suffering with something, admit it. And change now. Like this guy talked, he's in his 30s. Got this whole life ahead of him. You can make a change. Or you can be one of those guys I talked to who are in their 50s and realize in their 50s they want to make a change, which is fine. I'll help you. I'll help you at any age. I'll help you if you're 89. It doesn't matter. I don't care what age you are. There's guys younger than me who I take advice from because they know something I don't. Guys older than me I take advice from who know something I don't. It doesn't matter to me. Seek wisdom everywhere. But, I mean, you can say, all right, I'm in my 30s, but from 30s to 40s, I'm just going to chase after these external goals and make myself feel good, pat myself on the back, collect a bunch of trophies as everything else in my life crumbles because people around me are telling me that I'm the shit and this is what makes me feel good. And then you have this realization as you can't ignore and drink away and eat away the bad feelings anymore. You have this realization of, oh, I chased the wrong thing. So you can absolutely have that breakthrough moment, late 40s, 50s, 60s if you want. Or you could do it now when your kids are young. It's up to you. It's all ego, though. Ego is the enemy. Like, I think Ryan Holiday has that book out, Ego is the Enemy. Stoics knew it. Most successful, wise people in the world, the Stoics, even the Roman emperors who studied Stoicism, Marcus Aurelius, same thing. Got to humble yourself. Got to kill the ego first thing in the morning. Got to eat a frog first thing in the morning. Get up. And then we've got these. I talk to these rich guys who, sleep in. They've got something going with their business where they can make money, but their family's crumbling. They're crumbling on the inside, and it's just a matter of time before everything goes. So, 18 minutes already. This is too long. I talked about that too long to get into the other thing. So I'm going to make that the next podcast. I told you about all the surveys. This was like a tangent that I went on for almost 20 minutes now. So right after this, I'm going to hit stop very soon, and I'm going to record another podcast about these surveys, which is good because we're going on a family vacation, and I'm going to get these all scheduled out so I can be present with my family. Multitasking, being efficient. So I hope that story was able to help you a little bit. That's just another way guys are stuck. If you find yourself in that story and you can relate to it, then don't just get offended, grab a drink because you feel bad and smash the computer on the ground. Look in the mirror, do some digging, as we all have to do. I've got my own issues. You've got your issues. What hurts you and your family is whenever you ignore those issues. So that's it for this one. All the surveys and these pain points that thousands of fathers go through and the lessons and how I can help them going to be on the next podcast.